Hey, are you ready? You're muted.
I am ready for the mute button.
All right, so we're going to start letting everyone in, and there's only a couple so far, but they'll join us before we start. So, all right, thank you.
This is different than the other ones. The other one has a picture on the other side.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, Grace. How are you today? You're muted. I know that dang mute button gets us every time. You're not muted on my side. Okay, you may have to go out and come back in. Sorry. How are you, Kimya?
I am wonderful. How are you? I told you I was going to get there. I said, I'm going to get here.
We have a few more that should be joining us, but I'm sure that they will get here shortly. Grace, did you go to your microphone at the bottom of your screen? And does it have a slash through it? Click it, or there may be an arrow next to it. At the bottom of your screen, there should be a microphone. If you click on that, it maybe will just unmute you there. Hold on, Grace. I might be able to help you now. Did you get a message on your screen yet? Asking you to, there you go. There you go. Oh, it happened again. Okay. I cannot, you may have to go out and come back in, I think would help. Okay. I'll see you in 2 minutes. No, 2 seconds. She tries so hard. She tries so hard. You know, I'm very tech challenged,
Me too.
but but I'm getting so much better now because I'm listening to Abby, which should be here anytime. Here she is. Speaking of our angel, and she's so patient. It really helps me learn what she tells me. Your ears must have been burning. I started talking about you, and you came in. So there you go. But every time she teach, I listen to what she has to say, and then I learn, and then I don't have to continue to ask her the same questions every time. Some things are more challenging, and I have to ask. But all right, Grace, I see you're back. Let's see if we can figure this out again. Abby, Grace is having trouble speaking. We can't hear her. Maybe she can hear us, right, Grace? Yes. Can you help her, please? I've tried what I know.
Okay. Yeah, we still can't hear. So it's in the Zoom settings. So you have to open up your Zoom. So if you mouse over on your taskbar, if you mouse over the Zoom, you can see a pop-up of the 4 squares on the window. And you have to, I assume you're on the computer. Can you shake your head? Yes. Okay, so I'm giving you the right instructions. So go down to the taskbar, the bottom bar, mouse over the Zoom icon, and you'll see 2 pictures, one of all of us and another one. Click on the other one. And when it opens, there'll be a gear underneath your picture in the top right corner. Let me know if you see that. Okay. So when you mouse over the icon, the Zoom icon in the taskbar, you see two windows, correct? When you mouse over it, you only see the one of all of us. Okay, so you have to step off Zoom for the moment, not yet. Go to zoom.us and download Zoom again. And then you'll be able to reconnect to us and we'll be able to hear you.
Look at her
So
eyes.
yeah. Okay, so go to zoom.us, download it, install that version, and then you'll be able to come back on to this session. Good?
Okay, we'll see you in a couple of minutes, Grace.
Yeah. There we go. Ah,
Okay, is Dar on her way or she?
no, Dar is under the weather today, so she will not be coming.
Okay, well, tell her we're going to miss her.
Yes,
And
I already said that.
give her lots of hugs. Yes, because she really looks forward to coming in and visiting with us.
Yes.
So in the chat, if you would, please let me know in the chat, what is your favorite thing about yesterday? What did you do that was so memorable? I remember seeing Kimya has something coming up soon on Facebook. Abby has something coming up on Facebook. And Alka played with grandbabies yesterday. That's what I remember seeing yesterday on Facebook about you three. Okay? So maybe that will help you with what was your favorite thing about yesterday. I don't know. But see, just when you think no one's seen you, no one's watching, because I think that sometimes I'm like, why do I keep posting? No one's clicking, no one's commenting, no one's loving me, and then some days, I get a lot of response. I don't know. Do they like the first of the week? Kimya, maybe you can answer this. Do they like the first of the week better than the end of the week? Because it seems like I get more Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it starts tailing off a little bit. Thursday, a little less. Friday, a little less. Saturday, Sunday, I almost think Facebook closes down.
And it used to be the exact opposite, which is funny. It literally used to be Monday and Tuesday, I wouldn't even bother. So but I've actually seen the change too. I've seen the shift. And so I've noticed earlier in the week, it is more engagement. It's like something about Monday and Tuesday. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because people have so many other options now. And on Monday and Tuesday, they're back to work and don't want to be bothered. Like, I don't know. But what you're seeing, I've actually seen, it used to be the exact opposite, but I'm seeing the same thing on Monday and Tuesday. I'm like, what's going on here? It used to be a dead zone. So it is earlier in the week. It's more visibility. I think, and then people just are on that particular platform more.
Yes.
So I'm not sure what caused that shift, but it is the shift.
Years. And Facebook for me was the busiest on the weekend, which I did not like because I really don't like working that hard on the weekends.
You're
I want
right.
to be as needed.
Yes.
But
you're right.
Brick and mortar business, let's face it. My daughters are in the restaurant business. My son-in-law's in the restaurant business. My grandson, and I have lots of friends that have brick and mortar business, and that's one of their slowest times is Monday and Tuesday. And
exactly
to this day it is. But for me, it's like, dang, I better start posting on Monday and Tuesdays and not post so much toward the end of the week. So I'm glad to know it's not just me. So thank you. Yes, Abby.
I make myself available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. I don't work at all, but I'm available to cover all the different variations like Facebook, like LinkedIn, etc., because they all have their own patterns. And people have work lives or businesses, whatever. So I find that for me, it doesn't matter when I post. It's all available for me. So it makes makes me much more versatile
Yes.
for the social media.
Yes, I see that. Now that's a good point. And I wonder now. My mind's wondering, and let's see if this is when football season truly starts. Will it shift again? Is what I'm thinking. Because a lot of people, like on Monday nights, watch Monday Night Football. And will it get even less on the weekends when all the sports start? Because the kids will start playing sports on Saturdays, and then you have the NFL on Sundays. But you know what? I'm like you, Abby. I'm available 24/7. I just don't always work. I've been in this business 35 plus years of some kind, and I have always worked 7 days a week, period. I'm too old for that crap now. I'm sorry. I'm just too old. I'm too tired. I don't have enough patience. I get tired. I need my downtime. And you know what? I'm on that part of my life that I want to spend more quality time with my family and making even more memories. I mean, I've always been about making memories, but now it's like I've got these grandbabies and I want them to remember, because I'm the best thing ever made besides sugar on this earth to them, and I want it to continue to be that way. I mean, do you guys feel that way as when you raise your children and your grandchildren come by? I'm not even talking about grandchildren by blood or children by blood, anyone that's important in your life, I mean, my daughters have a couple of friends that I call them, they call me mom because they've been in my life since my daughters have been in fourth grade, some of them. And they're 34 and 37 now. So yeah, they call me mom. They're like just part of the family. Can so-and-so come for Thanksgiving? Why not? They're family, So do you see that as you're around all these people? You just want to make great memories so that one day when the pearly gates open or whatever you believe in, they're hopefully remembering the good things, not the bad.
Definitely.
We all have bad. Come on. We all have
Yes.
we all said things we might not have should have said, or
Or did.
or did, yes.
But
so let's make sure that we put in the chat what is your favorite thing that you did yesterday, or your favorite thing you're going to do, but you started it yesterday, because we want to remember those good things that you did or you started yesterday. Good morning, Miss Joe. The bra lady, the boob lady.
Good morning.
The boob lady.
That's what my husband calls me.
That made you smile this morning, Joe. That made everyone smile. So we are writing in the chat, what made you the happiest about yesterday? Maybe something you did yesterday, or maybe something you started yesterday that you're going to do later. Like, for instance, I noticed on Facebook yesterday, Alka was playing with the grandbabies with the water table and cards. And Kimya's got an event coming up, and Joe's got an event coming up. And, so let's talk about, I just want everyone to chat about what they have coming up.
So I don't really have anything coming up, but I just did a radio show a couple of days ago.
Oh, see, that's greatness.
Cool.
I knew that was coming up. I did not realize you already did it. That's awesome. I'm sure it went perfect, right?
Yeah, we could have talked for a lot more longer than an hour. It was an hour, but it was really good.
Awesome. I love getting interviewed and having talks, but I agree, I cannot. You know what? I can talk all day, nonstop. Just talk. I love it.
I believe that, LaDonna. I don't know why I believe that.
But so my question for you, Alka, is the water tables worth purchasing? I noticed you had the water tables out, and we've been thinking about that for my grandson. or is it just a total mess?
Well, it's actually not my water table, it's my daughter's. It's good if long as it's only water in them. When they put dirt in them, it's not so good. You definitely got to clean it out. I mean, I think that was cleaned out a couple of times. They do, but they like it. Come on, kids like water. What can I say?
And it is going to, I mean, I can see him take, I mean, he's 4. He's going to take sand out of the sandbox and put in there. And all of Dad's golf balls that he practices with is in the sandbox. He goes and gets them, hides them from Daddy. So I'm sure they're going to go in the water tank. I mean, I guess it's just going to be a norm, like if he had a pool.
Well, with a pool, I always make sure that they had like a bucket to step in first before, just to get the dirt off of themselves, right? Or something to get the dirt off of
themselves. Him a pool because the pit bull would probably be in it as much as him and would probably make a hole in it, or break it. So, okay. So, my thing is, the announcement is I want to do a membership drive for our new venture for the network marketing and the millionaire marketplace. So I want to do and so you guys get to hear about it first. Is that I'm going to do buy one get one free. Because at the beginning for the first month, I did whoever comes in, like Kim came in yesterday. I got her email address. She's good for 30 days. She got hers for free. Alka got hers for free. The first month I did for free. So anyone that did pay, they're getting their second month for free because that's only fair. But now what we're going to do is buy one, get one free. So you can buy yours. Say you want Aunt Sue to come, then you get Aunt Sue to come. She pays, but she can bring a friend for free. Cool. So it's a way of still getting someone to pay now because they're not the initial people that came in, but it's a huge discount and we're still getting double the membership to try to make it grow. Because what we want to do is have people come in that first month and know that it's good quality training. So get the word out, and I'm going to give away prizes. We're going to have drawings like every couple of days. So I'm putting together everything today and going to send it out to the members. So be watching for it. Okay. So I'm glad to know about the radio show. Alka picking up 2 liters of blueberries, freezing them and slowly and making baked goods. Blueberry muffins. That's what I got out of that. Blueberry muffins.
I was thinking blueberry pancakes because I can freeze them, but I saw a really good recipe. It's got blueberry zucchini loaf. And it's like, I have tons of zucchini. I thought, well, that would be interesting. Like, the zucchini, when it goes into muffins and stuff, it doesn't have a taste. So it will just pick up the blueberry taste, right? So it's got blueberries, zucchini, and lemon zest. You go, oh, great. I didn't have one ingredient. It's like, oh, well, I'll have to wait then. I'll just freeze them all.
It's always that way. It's always that way around here. And then Miss Kimmy says, I met a fellow marketing strategist online and we hit it off right away. And I'm added to my team. That's awesome. I love it when that comes together.
Mm-hmm.
I have now an entire team that stands next to me. I never want to say behind me. They do support me. That's what I mean by behind me, not less. But now I have my own CRM. I have my own funnel system. I've never had that before. I have my own web designers and I have my own creators and VAs. And now I can say, if Alka says, you know what, I need a VA just for 10 hours, I can provide that. If Joe needs a VA for 5 hours, I can provide that. And I love that. And it's economical that I feel like most people can afford if you're in business, once you venture out of just starting up. I never tell someone when they first start up that you need a $5,000 website, you need to pay a VA $20,000 and you need to do this. Or I met with a lady yesterday, she sells a coaching package for $34,000 and I'm like, what? I know they're out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spend that much on a coach. So. But some people do, and some people do it, and I'm sure it's worth their time, energy to do so. But that's not where I'm at. So, Okay, so with that said, I cannot wait to hear about Alka's creative side when building a business. So, Alka, it is your turn to take the floor.
Well, thank you, LaDonna, for inviting me. This was a little hard because what I do for myself.
You're muted, Alka. For some reason, you're muted.
I wasn't mute. It was on mute, not muted before. I don't know what happened, but anyways, the glitches of the network and Zoom. Anyways, thank you, LaDonna, for inviting me. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not exactly sure what you're looking for. I know that, excuse me, before I paint, I meditate, and it depends on if the piece is like a commission piece where they want something specific in it. I do meditate, and if I'm not able to meditate, what I do is I ground myself outside. So I do go outside if I can. In the winter, it's a little hard to do that because of snow. You might not get that in Texas, but we do have it in Canada. But what I do is I close my eyes. If I'm not able to go outside and meditate, what I do is I close my eyes inside. And I pretend that I am a tree because trees are grounded. They're grounded all year round, not just in the summer. My feet are the roots and they go into the ground. And I also close, when my eyes are closed, I pretend my arms are the branches. So my arms go up and bring in all the energy to me to create what I'm needing to create. I have when I do my classes, and I've done a few of them, I haven't done them lately. I also lead in a small meditation so that people can get, a lot of people have said to me that, painting, I make mistakes or I can't paint properly or I'm not a very good painter. I says, doesn't matter. On a rock, it does not matter. As you all know, I do paint on unusual surfaces. Rocks are the most giving because you can paint over them. I know you can do that with canvas, but canvas is a little bit more expensive. Rocks are free. Or most rocks are free. You can purchase rocks at like the masonry or like a landscape place. They will sell you the rocks in all different sizes. They will sell them this size too. So they're all different sizes. Not that you can see them. There you go. Wait a second. There you go. You can see them. They're all different sizes. They will sell them to you as well. I always find them. And people have also asked where I find them. I find them on like the beach, in the forest. And yes, I found them even on like country, like in the city. Sometimes they just end up there. I find them anyways. I don't know. Maybe I attract them and they come out to me. Not exactly sure. But I do use my energy that I receive from outsource or my sources, my guides. Excuse me. But I do, when I paint, I see a vision in my third eye or my forehead up here. I close my eyes, I see what I'm looking for, and then I start to paint. I sometimes sketch it out if it needs a certain amount of sketching. Sometimes I need features done properly, things like that. And I have helped other people with being more creative in their business. First of all, excuse me, by teaching them how to bring out their creativity to get their business going a bit more. One person I did help, her name is Sharon Mefford. I did ask her if I could use her name. She said that I helped her with being more creative in her business. She sells tower gardens. Now, I don't know if you know what tower gardens are. Most of you do. You can grow plants inside without soil. They grow year round. She said that I gave her some creativity in that to grow things that she'd never thought of growing. I suggested a few things. They said, well, anything can use outside influence. Like you don't have to listen to everybody, but if you ask for suggestions, definitely listen to them. If you can incorporate them, use them. And I want to know, how do you become creative in your business?
Everyone unmute, please. Alka, the meditation part I have not tried, so I'm excited about that. is that what, I mean, I know sometimes for me that I close my eyes to think about, okay, I need to create something, for example, on the membership drive.
Mhm.
But my mind's just blank. It comes up blank. But I have thoughts on it, but I can't vision it. I can't vision what I want it to look like. Is that where you put the meditation?
What I do is I do like, yes, sometimes you will have thoughts. Maybe you're making dinner and a thought pops out to you. Write that down, because you never know if that thought will be your brain works all the time, right? So I think the only time, even when you're sleeping, you're dreaming, so another part of the brain takes over. But I think that when you're doing the most mundane things, like, making breakfast or whatever, brushing your teeth or anything like that, thoughts will come to you. I always try to keep a piece of paper, notebook, whichever, around so I can write my thoughts down, because I won't remember them later. But meditating, I find that if you can listen to soft music that won't put you to sleep, close your eyes and try to think about nothing. That's harder than it sounds, because soon as you go into that state, then your mind just starts, oh, well, I got to do this, I got to do that. What I was always told is quiet your mind as much as possible. Okay, so if a thought comes in, think, write it down, let it go, and that's how you continue the meditation. You can get guided meditations where you're told to relax, lie down if you want, sit up, just be in a quiet room and close your eyes and kind of close your mind off. And the guided meditation will take you through a meditation where they say, now you're standing you've closed your eyes, now you're standing in a field of daisies, and they'll walk you through the meditation. And that actually will help your brain to relax a little bit more, so you can meditate. And I also find that sometimes meditation will put me to sleep. So maybe that's what you need. It's just a way for your brain not to be focused on, oh, I got to do this or I got to do that. I don't know. Do any of you dream at all, or do you remember your dreams?
I do both, and I don't like it because most
Me
of the
too.
time my dreams are stupid. They're way, way back, or they make no sense. But you know what? Those are the nights I don't sleep well, is when that happens. So I'm even more tired. So, but do when you so she asked, Miss Alka asked earlier, what do you do to be creative in your business? I would like for everyone to tell us that. Miss Kimya, what how do you how are you best with creating in your business? Tell us anything you want to say about that.
Well, I'm a creative by nature. I am truly the left brain and right brain. I was a fashion designer, illustrator, artist, writer, poet. But I'm strictly business some days. So I'm split. I'm creative. I find just taking whatever I need offline is where the fun and the joy and the magic happens. So me, like I always have markers and post-it notes. And I have a glitter ball planter on my disco ball planter on my desk. Like I have literally, I'm surrounded by creative things that inspire me. I love color. So I only wear black t-shirts when I'm online because I have colors typically behind me. So it mutes me so I don't clash with my background. That's literally how much artistry and creativity I try to infuse in my day. But I really, like I said, I take things offline because I find that a lot of times when we're trying to, particularly when we're trying to work, we are on a device, and a device forces you to think in a linear fashion. And so I always tell people, if I'm at my laptop, I can only type up and down. Like that's it. Our brains don't do that. Our brains do this. So if you get a medium that you can do this with, a la paper and pen, you'd be surprised how much more creative you are simply because you're not trying to confine yourself into a vertical device, whether it's a phone, tablet, or what have you. So for me, that's the biggest takeaway. And when I explain that to people, they're like, huh. I said, just try it. And even for me, I pump out an enormous amount of content online. I start with pen and paper and markers and post-its and different color binders and different color notebooks. Those things, even though they seem small, it's the small things that make a difference. Because like if I had all white notebooks and black pen, I just started writing with black pen. I couldn't even write with black pen. So I just started that this year, writing with black pen this year, seriously. So I have to have a green notebook and a purple notebook and a pink notebook, and like just adding creative things that you like that inspire you throughout the course of your day, no matter what it is. Your creativity is just there because you're always surrounded by things that inspire you.
You know what, Kimya? I love that. My husband always, he's not creative. I'm always, I mean, I got an art scholarship when I graduated high school, but you know, he'll say, why do you have all these post-it notes? And why am I, because when he goes to the grocery store,
Oh, I love that.
this is
It's
just
so
a
cute.
notebook. And
Yes.
I have everything in it. I mean,
Yes.
everything. And he'll say, why are we doing this? My desk is always a mess because it's full of, I have a, what do you call it? Trapper keeper, like
Trapper keeper.
because and I have
Yes.
different colors of dividers in there because to me that's how I divide my brain.
Yes. Same.
And he'll say, but you have all this on. Look at my phone; it's even unique. He says, but your phone does everything. I have that Z Fold, you know, and it literally can, but I don't want it to because that's not how my brain operates. I have to have fun, creative things around me. So he picked up this notepad for me last week, and it was perfect. And all it is lined paper inside. But see, your names are in here somewhere because I write lists down. I also have the old-fashioned, I hope you can see, clipboards. They're
Clipboard,
not
yes.
because I can't find them in color. I may even let my grandson color on the back of them, but I use that because look, I write down everyone that I invite to each event, and as you can see, I've used a pink marker to check off yeses or nos or maybes, you know. And again, it's just I know I can do it on my laptop. I can do it on my phone, but this is the only way my brain works. But Kim, you gave me a great idea, is that I haven't taken my creative side as far as like doing flyers or ads like that. I mean, yes, I write out, even when I write my books, my chapters in my books, I don't start them out on the docs. I know that that's what most people do. And it'll save time, but that's, again, I do my best writing at night, right before I go to bed or while watching TV. Hey, it looks like Joe has a clipboard in her hand. Is that what that is, Joe?
It's pink.
Yeah.
I find that when I went to look for clipboards. And again, my husband said,
Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon. All right. You know, I buy so much from Amazon. So that's a whole nother story. I could give a whole class on Amazon. I'm telling you, this family.
You know something? I'm about the only person who does not shop on Amazon. My son sells for Amazon. He puts his things that he finds on Amazon. He's been working for Amazon for probably since 2018 or something like that. And he laughs at me. He says, why don't you have an Amazon account? I said, I figure that it's best that I don't. Because I see so many, you know, whether tools for painting or tools for design, it's like,
have to stay away.
I can't look at them. And I find that what you're saying about doing stuff off the computer, because I find if I'm on the computer all day in meetings or doing other things, I don't paint. And that kind of, to me, it's a toss-up. I'd rather be online, but I understand about being online. I have to be able to sell my work as well. So, but I'd rather not. And it took me a long time to get used to computer generated art. I know it's cool to do. I've done it myself, but it took me forever. I thought, no, it's, you know, computer generated art's not going to replace artists, and if they do, we're in trouble, but actually it's not that way at all. I just find that and I don't, and it's true, even though if I as Kemia was saying that you switch from the computer to drawing or sketching or whatever. I have tons of workbooks, notebooks, and they're all different colors. They're never ever plain. They always have a picture on the front or different colors. And when I'll show you something. So this is something I did paint, but you notice there's hardly any pens in it. I've got a couple pens. There's pencils always in it. I have paintbrushes. Even all of my containers that should be for like pens and pencils always have paintbrushes. I have a couple of pencil crayons, not pencil crayons, sharpeners. And my grandson did ask me, he says, how come you have so many sharpeners? And I said, well, just because I never know where they are. At least if they're in one spot, I have a sharpener and pencil and eraser always in my backpacks, in my purse. I even have them in my car. I find I work better with not just pencil, but if I have like colored pencils, I work better with them. And I'm always, even when I take notes, it's very seldom in pen. And when I have a pen, I promptly lose it. So it disappears on me. But yeah, definitely I work, I think like that. I don't think, I do have an analytical mind. I'm not saying I don't, but I choose not to use it that way all the time.
And, I think we're all unique in one way. If I can write, pink is my color, if y'all haven't figured that out yet. But pink has always been my color. It just has. I've never really swayed away from it. Even as a little girl, pink was my favorite color. So if I can find an ink pen that I can write in pink, that is when I think the best. Now, is that true? I don't know, but that's how I feel. I feel like I'm more creative. Now, most coaches will tell you, and I can't remember which one it is, it's black or blue. I think it's blue. If you write in a blue pen, you will remember it better. But for me, I don't know. I don't see that because ink is the thing with that my brain just like magnet. It's just like a magnet. I don't know why, but I'm sure they're correct. But it just, so many coaches have told me in the past, and I've heard it on different channels and different platforms, that if you write in blue, you will remember it better and faster. Again, my brain just seems to magnetize towards the color pink, but colored pink pens are not always the easiest to find. But truly,
I've got some.
Me too. Yeah, I got one on my desk.
I have one. I have a pink pen.
Yeah, mine is purple. I've written my favorite color once I started writing with colored pens was turquoise, and then I switched to purple. So I literally keep boxes of purple pens.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do.
You have to
find your style. You said it. It's what works for you, because those studies are for the masses. Those studies are not for creatives, though. They don't tailor the studies to ask the questions of creatives to get a certain data set. They ask questions to fulfill their goals of the data set they're trying to get.
I love that. I love what you just said.
That's what they're doing.
I want you to write that down for me so I can use it, Kemia, because I want Family Feud is what puts me to, that's my last thing I watch every night before bed. I know I'm a weirdo, but Family Feud is the thing that I watch right after the movie. I usually have like 20 minutes left before nighttime, and that's what kind of mellows me out. And I always ask, where did they go to the teenage?
Yes.
With those answers?
Yes.
They're the most ridiculous answers I've ever heard in my life. And that's what flashed when you said the statement that you did on those polls where they, and you're right. Us artiste people are different, I think. And
very much so.
Of the others, they say that left-handed people are more to be an artist. Well, I'm going to tell you, I have a grandson that's left-handed. He could care less about any art, but he is a hands-on person.
Mm-hmm.
He is a hands-on person. School is not his thing. I don't even know how we will get him to graduate. He's in 10th grade, and it's like the boy can't even remember to turn in his paperwork. But when we put him on medication, it literally puts him to sleep. So what do you do? I don't know. Because he's already a mellow kid. So, drugs are not for everyone. I don't know. But again, he's left-handed, but he's not an artist, but he is hands-on. Give him a drill and he's in love. He wants to be a welder underneath the ocean when he grows up, I'm like, well, boy, you better decide because you're about grown up. But
well, you see, but a welder is also artistic.
Yes, they are.
Like a lot of people don't think that welding is an artistic thing, and it is. There's art in so many different things that people, like my kids say, well, I'm not artistic. I said, yeah, you are. Like, I've seen your work. And, like my oldest daughter is an early childhood educator. I said, you have to think ahead of the kids. Like she says, when she goes to, she'll pass by and somebody will throw out like a whole bunch of CDs, and automatically she thinks, oh, what can the kids create with this? I said, see, you are creative. You just don't, like, you teach other people how to be creative and think like you do. Like I used to do that with my kids when they were growing up, and anytime they had any birthday parties, I would think, okay, what can, like if it's a group of girls or if it's a group of boys. One year for one of my daughter's birthday parties, we did tie-dyed t-shirts. I made them bring them from home. I brought all the dye and showed them what to do, and they were so mad at me that they couldn't bring it home. I said, no, they have to cure. I'm going to do it so it doesn't wash out and everything. Everybody had a great time and they thought it was great. And then I got in trouble from one of the parents. Well, you shouldn't be thinking of things like this to do for your kids. And it's why? Because then we look like, we don't do anything. They get birthday cake and, games, and that's it. I've said, I'm sorry, I have to occupy my kids' time. If they're having a birthday party, they want to do something fun. They don't want to just have cake and whatever they do at birthday parties, right?
And I always, and when you say that, you got to think about it, even as adults, it's those memories you make. We were talking about that during the beginning. See, that's another memory because believe it or not, Alka, those kids are grown now, but I bet you at least one of them still has that t-shirt somewhere. And they're going to remember, oh my gosh, where did I get that t-shirt? How long have you had it? Oh, it was so-and-so's birthday. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in forever. Or her, and it's my daughter did the same thing. She's a manager at the Texas Roadhouse at one of the stores here. And she does those team building exercises. Do you call it an exercise? Whatever you call it.
That's what they are, team building exercises.
And that's what they did. They all came to her house. And they did a slip and slide for all the adults because it was all adults. And she did one for the staff, the wait staff, one for the hostess staff, one for the kitchen staff, because, you can't do it all the same time. And they did those t-shirts and they loved it, even as adults. But again, guess what? That was a team building exercise. And we should all have them. I think when we get on Zoom like this, it's a team building exercise. I know we're not doing dying, but we are learning how to be creative today. Yesterday, we learned about building strategies for our business. Joe, is there something that you can think of that you would like to say on being more creative with your business? Your business is a little different than mine or Kenya's or even Alka's.
So me personally, I love analogies. So when I like to compare something with my product. So in other words, I'll use one. I had just ordered some shoes that I saw online, and they were supposed to be orthopedic, and they were crap. Can I just tell you? I could have bent them in half and it could have broke. Okay. I paid 2 for 1. So what I did was I said, there's got to be an analogy here. Yes, there is. So I did a live video on the real deal. Okay. So the shoes were not the real deal, but my product is the real deal. And so I did, but I don't just do it on my product. I also do it on my personal thing. So another example is my husband does not like change, period. Okay. And every Sunday morning he gets up and he cooks breakfast. Well, this particular Sunday morning, I walked downstairs and he's sitting in the chair watching TV. And I said, "We're not having breakfast today?" And he said, "No, there's only 2 eggs left." Okay. So I looked at him and I said, "So you couldn't make French toast?" Because we're used to having scrambled eggs. So I went upstairs and I did a live video, an analogy, how women don't like to change and they don't want to get out of their bra and into this. And he didn't want to make a different breakfast. So I find an analogy in everything. And as soon as I hear it, I go into my live. That's
awesome.
how I'm creative.
That's awesome. I see another idea I never didn't even think about putting with a segment like this, but it goes with it. How about you, Abby? What are you thinking about this? Because you do a completely different business than what we do, but where is your creativity coming from?
Well, my creativity comes from two different factors. One, I do physical effort, which is my unicycle, and the other is meditation. So the idea is when I have a break, like after this meeting, I'm expecting another meeting in about an hour. So I'll take some time to meditate and exercise, and that gives me the ability to create a solution for the person, my client, because not everything is cookie cutter in tech. It's coming up with a solution that works for the client, because some clients are frustrated with things they already know about, and I have to come up with let's call it a shortcut for the solution they want. And that's so even in my business of tech, I'm still being creative. It's just not a it's not a visual product. It's it gives them a smile at the end because they're satisfied. That's where my creativity is and how I get it.
Beautiful. Now see another side that I would have not thought that would have went with even though we're talking creativity, but it still goes so well with what Alka has been telling us today. And I love that. We have, is there any other questions or anything that anyone wants to say at this time? We have a few minutes left. So what I would like for us to do is that I know that there's events coming up, or maybe something that you want to tell somebody about that's coming up. Kimya, I know that you have an event coming up. Would you like to tell us about it and then put it in the chat so we can go register if we're interested?
Sure, thank you. So I have a complimentary training coming up August 23rd, and it is entitled Audience Amplification Blueprint. And I am going to be talking about techniques you can use to leverage other people's audiences. Because when you're trying to grow your business and your brand, it's only 3 ways to get an audience. You have to buy it, borrow it, or build it. That's just it. There's no other way around it. And so this training is talking about borrowing other people's audiences. And we're all experiencing it now. The fact that I am sharing my training on this platform hosted by LaDonna means I'm borrowing her audience. So it's the obvious things that people don't pay attention to. And so I'm just putting them in a framework so that you can use those techniques to really build your business and grow your brand, because we all need more eyeballs and more visibility. And so it's an offshoot of the challenge I hosted a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I should pull a segment out And I literally remember when I was doing it, I said it on the challenge. Hey, I'm gonna pull this segment out. So I'm pulling the segment out because there's so many different ways. I'm pulling the segment out, all about leveraging other people's audiences so that you don't have to market your business in a silo, because that's literally the hardest, slowest path to visibility, is simply using your own platform.
Now, let me ask you, other ladies, have you ever thought about we are borrowing each other's audience? It is true. I'm not saying it's not true. It is very true. But I never thought of it that way. I'm sorry. I'll be the first one, Kimmy, to say I never thought about that. I'm borrowing because guess what? That is what we do all day long when we get on these platforms. When we get on every phone call, every Zoom, we are borrowing someone's audience. When Joe went on to the radio show, she was borrowing that audience. And Kimya, thank you. I never thought of it that way, and I'm going to steal it because I love that.
That's it.
And I think it's to the level where everyone really can understand it.
Yes.
And I love it that it's B, B, and B.
Yes.
You're buying it, you're borrowing it, or you're
building it. Building
it. The three B's.
Yep. And buying it is ads.
And she is strong at her 3 B's, let me tell you.
Yep. So that's it. Yeah. Like you just said, people don't even realize what they're doing, because when it comes to marketing, most businesses don't have a plan. They just throw everything at the wall and hope something sticks. But when you can put it in certain frameworks, then you can figure out what you're actually doing. And you are marketing your business. I just help you see how you're marketing your business and help you figure out if what you're doing is working. Right. Are you borrowing the right audiences?
But putting the word borrowing makes it more simpler in my brain.
Exactly. And that's literally what I like to do. I like to I tell people, if I'm talking to a group of marketing people, I can use all the marketing jargon in the world. I'm a marketer by trade. If I'm talking to non-marketers, there's no need me using all this fancy stuff because you're not going to get it. It's just, like you said, it's easy. Borrow. You got it.
And automatically, I picked up the 3 B's. She's breaking the 3 B's.
Yep.
Even though I couldn't remember the last one building, I still remembered it was a B word.
It's a B. Exactly. Exactly.
So,
yep.
Alka, I know. Something to say?
I know that when Cayman was talking about marketing, and I've been to marketing, I guess Zoom meetings and whatever, and I zone right out because I don't understand what they're saying. So I find that if you can speak to someone in the language that they're used to hearing or can relate to, that they will listen. So, some of the meetings I don't go to anymore because I find that it just goes right over my head, and it's like a deer caught in the headlights. You don't know what they're saying. It's like, I don't know how to respond back to you.
Exactly. And that drives me crazy.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Too. It's not, for me, it's a lot of things are over my head. I'm like, what does that word mean? Let's Google it. I haven't been to college in a long time, ladies. So some things just go right. I even helped my 10th grade grandson with his 10th grade math. And I used to teach math. Because it's changed. They wanted to.
It has changed. It's completely different. I don't know what they're doing. Oh my gosh.
I haven't taught school oh my God, I quit teaching school 18 years ago, and it has changed a lot. And I can't keep up with it because I used to tutor kids, but it's been probably 15 years since I've even tutored anyone. And he called me yesterday, Mama, how do I do this? I had to Google it. I had to Google it to refresh my mind. So when you're marketing, I think that's the hardest thing in my business because, getting customers, yes, that's what we want. But to do that, you have to market somehow, some way. And let's face it, there's all kind of marketing tools out there, Canva, blah, blah, blah. But it's about what you put on it. And I remember one day I paid for an all-day seminar for marketing. And it was during COVID. And I paid $97. Now, $97 is not a huge amount of money, but it's my money. That could pay for Mark's gas for the week. It doesn't matter if it was $7. It's my $7. And I got there. It was so boring and so drug out. it wasn't the words that he spoke about. It was so boring. I wasted my money because it would not keep my attention. Even when I went back to the recording, it did not keep my attention. I need upbeat. I need inspiring. I need to be able to understand it. And I don't, if it's something that I have to attend for 2 weeks, I don't want it to be the same stuff every time I come into the meeting. And so you have to inspire your audience. That's why I'm telling you. No matter if it's on paper or in verbiage, you have to inspire whoever you're listening to, whoever's listening to you. You have to inspire them. So always remember that it's an inspiration. You don't want it. You want it to be an upbeat church, not a low key, 100-year-old preacher up there preaching. That people understand that verbiage,
Unless that's your audience.
Yeah.
That's the key. It depends on who your audience is.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. If you're giving a training and it's to non-industry people, that's a very different energy than if you're talking to industry people. It's completely different. And so many people, I go to some marketing things, I know what they're talking about, and I still click off and my eyes glaze over. It's like, this is just flat out boring. They're not making it applicable, like Joe said, with analogy, something. But I find a lot of times people try to talk over their audience because they think that makes them look like they know what they're talking about. And I go the opposite. So I'm like, I don't have to impress you. I know I'm smart. I don't have to impress you with what I'm saying. Impressing you is not the point of you signing up for something. Like that. And I think a lot of times, to Alka's point, I've been there and I'm just like, oh my gosh, who was this presentation for? Because this is terrible. Yeah. So that's who are you talking? I've had things like you said, LaDonna, even on a replay, I'm just like, okay, I just wasted my money. I can't do this. You know how many times I've been on training and I forgot I was at the training because I didn't started cooking. I completely forgot I was even at a training. I've literally done that.
I'm going to tell you a little secret, and I'm telling off on myself. If I keep going in and out, and you don't hear the dogs barking, and I'm going in and out off screen, that's usually a good sign that I'm zoned out. I'm either writing something, cooking dinner, cleaning the toilet, whatever it is, but I'm not in tune with what is going on. If you are going to, for instance, if you're going to ask me to come and speak, make it worth my time. I don't want it to be like the last 3 times I came to speak at one of your events. I want it to be something different. I want to give, I don't want to be the spotlight of it. I want everyone to be the spotlight of your show, Real quick, because we're almost out of time. We got carried away on that. Abby, tell us about your event coming up and then put it in the chat so we can save it real quick.
My event is I'll save it in the chat. It's a Tech Talk Thursday, first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern. And this one will be September 7th. And everyone here can join for free. If you email me, I'll email you back the free link.
Okay, Joe, before you leave real quick, do you have an event or a sale that's going on real quick?
The only thing that's going on right now is our Cami bundle sale, where you purchase any two or more of the selected Camis or Demi, and you get 10% off and $15 off as a new customer. And our swimwear sale is very, very limited, 75% off, huge savings. That actually, they both end the end of the month.
I want to tell you something about this swimwear stuff.
Did you try it?
I bought 2 of them. I'm wearing them as blouses. I know.
I do too.
It was the colors. I bought 1 black. I don't do a lot of black because I do have fur babies and their hair goes everywhere. But I want 1 black and 1
fuchsia.
It's what?
Fuchsia.
But to me it's more pink, but whatever. It's fuchsia. It looks pink online. But I wore the fuchsia one with a little top underneath over it because my arms, I don't do sleeveless anymore. It was awesome. The girls were perky and pretty, and husband loved it when we went out for dinner. And I just love it. And I'm wearing them as a blouse, and they're comfy. They're comfy.
Can I just say, I have to honestly say, our one piece, which we have more of, are regularly $139 US, and they're $39.75. Our tankinis that she's talking about wearing as tops, and I do the same thing. $19.75, regularly $79.
I was gonna say I jumped down on that sale.
You cannot go wrong. I mean, yours is on its way, Alka.
I've been waiting for them. You know what? Because they do look like tops, so I could wear them as well. So
and they're comfy, Alka. They're comfy. I thought they might be uncomfortable, but they're not.
No,
I was gonna say I've been wearing ruby ribbon for about a year now. So yes, the first couple of times it was a little stressful thing, but Joe helped me. She, kind of explained what but
Alka, do you have any events coming up? Are you doing any sales or anything that we need to know about before we go?
Just in-person ones. So unfortunately, You're not around here. I apologize.
I would love for you to do the next time you have an in-person one. Do a little video for us. Show us what you're doing.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. We still want to see.
Yeah,
I will do a video.
Event.
Yeah,
I think it's in. There's one in September. I don't know what's going on because I do have a mural I'm going to go be doing.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Connie Walker, she's got her new studio, her new spa, right? So I'm going to be painting in the reception room. So
awesome. So please.
Oh, that's cool.
During several different videos.
Okay.
Because that would be awesome. Bye, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
I have to go. I have a corporate call.
So but that would be an awesome advertising piece for you.
Yes.
I
would love to see that.
I should have done that with Abby's
rock.
The rock at the front of at the end of her drive. Well, one of her driveways, anyways. And I took pictures like each day, and every time I would come up, Dora was there. Is it finished? Not yet, Doris. I'll be done. The first day she says, "Is it finished?" I said, "No, I can't finish that in one day." I said, "The background's there." But I did take pictures at the end of the day, like my progression through the piece itself.
Oh, you need to put that online. You need to let us see it or something. I would love that. Okay. I would love to do that. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much. Save the chat. There's some interesting links and stuff. I didn't get my links in there, but everyone here, I think, has them. And yes, and please, social media, everything. Take a screenshot or not, whatever. Go to your social media. Tell them how you spent your last hour, what you loved about it. And remember to go to the member group. Kimya, I'm not for sure if we got you in the member group yet, but we will if not.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.